Now, I discovered something about this story we have been looking at recently, which I think we need to really discuss. This part here.
They now said it has not finished.
This is where she talks about someone that she had talked to about the situation. Listen.
They asked my lawyer to go and draft a document. The meeting was over. My lawyer went and drafted a document that briefed what all this whole story I have been saying. My lawyer just briefed it, I think about 3 pages, putting his full name and my full name, and that they have confirmed that he is the biological father of the child. And they were giving me 10 million naira to go away with the child. But it does not affect the child's relationship with his father in the future. And this agreement was sent to them, and they rejected it. They said it was too outright, that they will amend it. They now went and drafted their own agreement, changing his name from 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐻𝐶HINYERE to 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘. Me, I don't know who is 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘. I did not have anything to do with 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘.
Yes.
They changed his name to 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘, and the narrative they put up in their agreement, they made it look like 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 was a church member. And that I left my marriage to go and have an affair with 𝐻IBUZOR 𝐵𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘, which resulted to a child. So when the church had and offered me financial assistance of 10 million naira to get away with my child, honestly, I still did not mind with the narrative they came up with. So I signed the document. I told them all I wanted was to walk away, because personally I was tired. I wanted to walk away, because I know that whatever he continued doing and was doing, one day it will still come out. I signed the document, and then I requested for one thing. I said, this document I am signing, I need a copy of it. They say, for what? What do you need it for? You don't need it. I said, no, I need it. They said they will never give it to me. I said, fine. If you people will not give me a copy of a document that is even speaking against me, even after I signed it just to walk away, if you people will not give me a copy, I will not take the money. You people can keep the money. And I did not take that money, and that was the end of that issue. When I came back, I thought of ways to do, I thought of what to do. I told my lawyer we need to go to court, take the matter to court. My lawyer said I should pay, my lawyer drafted an agreement to send to court, but he said I should pay 100,000 for filing fee. I said, sir, I don't get 100,000 to pay. He kind of made it mandatory I have to pay before we go to court. So I left him aside. That was when I had to contact Dr. Charles. I sent him a DM on Facebook explaining my plight. So he reached out. I was like, send me evidence, which I did. He asked for my contact and called me. I told him everything. He said, I will get back to you in the morning. He reached out to Apostle, and Apostle accepted to everything Mr. Charles said.
How do you know Apostle accepted?
Because this is what Mr. Charles said.
Now, if you understand or heard that very well, I had to do my own findings to really understand if she's saying the truth, because I have to also, fact find and see what happened, because like I said before, this is not a conversation that is happening now. It's happened before. It's now getting to my attention. And I was just wondering, why wasn't it more of like on social media like that? And I understood a couple of things. So let's look at what written by Charles Owuzie on his page. So I'm going to read it. You're going to look at it on the side if you want to read along with me. He said, I don't know how many people have tagged me to the story of Imabong Sunday. For personal reasons, I won't make further comment, and I am doing this solely for the dozens of messages which I can't respond to directly. I disagree with 𝐲𝐶Lover because this whole thing, before it came out, if you watched the first video I posted summarizing the whole thing, it wouldn't have gotten to social media, because it was Imabong herself that went to 𝐲𝐶Lover and reported the situation. And before you go to 𝐲𝐶Lover to report something, you need to have evidence. I disagree with 𝐲𝐶Lover that there is abandonment, because when 𝐲𝐶Lover posted this about more than a month ago, the idea is that she was abandoned. So this is someone that was into the whole conversation and was trying to be a mediator, which I think he must have done a good job. Maybe there was abandonment before the case was brought to me, but after my intervention, the pastor in question took up responsibility. Is it possible that he stopped at a point? He's asking a question. I will need to call them both to another group call and find out what really happened. I took a break from every drama because I also have my personal problems. Now it's beginning to make sense. Remember the audio recording we played in the last video? It was more of like a conference call.
Thing she has been threatening to do. I am not stopping now. I cannot answer. If you don't answer, I have never wanted to say, I beg, don't go there. I've told her, go ahead and do. Or know that the scandal will go off.
See, you pass it, I'll slap you.
So when he says here another group call, 𝐼𝐻𝐵 herself, this woman, 𝐼𝐻𝐵. Now your page, as if you have deactivated it. I don't know if they are threatening you too much. You will get to that particular point, but she is very smart. You see, from the get-go, when this whole thing started looking shady, she started keeping evidence. So you will not be saying, okay, so she was recording and doing this so that because it's intentional. You see, for people that have observed and seen things happen over time on social media, you have to be wise. Some of you watching me now, some of you might be in the same situation as I'm talking to you right now. So if you know that tomorrow you don't want stories at touch, you know how to get yourself out of a situation if it gets that worse like this one now. Because for her to actually get to fight for the child support or the responsibilities she wants the person himself to take care of, she needs to be able to show you something. If she did not have all these evidences right now, do you think the shippers would even believe what is coming out about their Messiah? Or would I say the philanthropist, if I'm to put it that way? He now says what he did. First, I did everything I could to ensure things never got to 𝐲𝐶. He tried. For me myself, some of you that knew about the story of Apostle Suleiman, I don't know if I was the first person to know, but I knew firsthand. And I tried as much as possible for that story not to come out. If I open my DM and show you, those of you that are trying to hack my page, one day try, if you try and you hack, you will see messages, even you yourself will say, here? So George knows all these kind of things. It's because there are principles to what I do here. Do unto others what you will not mind done unto you. So I think before I execute some things. So I may not be like the one that is in the forefront, but of course I will discuss it if it comes out. That is my person. So what he did right here was good, trying to mediate and solve a situation in the back end so it doesn't become a public brouhaha like this one now. 𝐲𝐶 doesn't do investigations to hear the whole story, but I do investigations. I think that is also amazing for me, because I don't even want to get to that situation of talking to this person, because I don't like it. You see, once you become familiarizing with someone, let's say in a case like this, you might not want to say the truth. For me, I'm that kind of person. Once I start probably getting familiar with one person or this person, I may not want to really, because logically my mind would tell me, why would I talk about this thing on the outside when I can call this person and say, guy, how far are we till now? I hear this thing, I hear this thing, because we are in good terms, or we talk. You understand? But if I see something online, I don't have the number of your papa. Who am I to even be calling your papa? You understand? So I can discuss something that is on the internet from whatever platform I see it. I just discuss it. I also do mediations. When cases are brought to me, I use internal processes to solve the case, and the public is always the last option, especially if people prove stubborn. But the person in question here didn't prove stubborn to me. He was honest with me and earned my love through the honesty. See here, man to man, if it's like a man and woman thing, you can say okay, but these are two men. But for Dr. Daniel himself to be taking it up the way he's taking it up, is begin to make me wonder. But of course, he has to be who he is. Everybody's different. Because when he talked about the whole having another group call, I think that was when the other audio we heard before, that might have been the time where she recorded the conversation. I mean, 𝐼𝐻𝐵 herself. Because I was now thinking, could he have been talking to Dr. Daniel at that time for it to be recorded? Now I'm beginning to understand that probably he was talking in a group call with 𝐲𝐶 and 𝐼𝐻𝐵 in the subject, and she recorded the call and kept it as evidence. And that is what she now sent to Dr. Daniel, who is now posting some of the recordings for you to see. like the recent one that just came out, but we'll get there.
Elijah, send down fire, bless my altar.
He goes on to say, and you go ahead and say I was covering up for the pastor, because people were accusing him of covering up for the pastor. Well, I don't care what you say. I just think there has been a lot of scandals about pastors, and remember, myself, I grew up as a pastor, so I will always try to understand the pastor. He used to be in pulpit ministry before. I could see that in some of his posts. A lot of people expect pastors to be holier than God. Well, you preach up to God, you wrote that in a small g, but anyway, but we are humans with penny. We are humans with penny. We are humans with 𝙰𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚝. Let me say 𝙰𝚘𝚘𝚗, because this one is not for social media. We are humans with okay, this will enter. George, be serious. This is, people are watching you. The whole world is watching you. And human sexuality is common to all humans. Nobody is holier than anyone. Nobody. This is why I advocate personal spirituality. Was I shocked that the news got out? Yes. I was also as shocked as everyone else seeing the news on Gistlover. When cases are brought to me, I try to provide moral support, but I can't control the actions of a grown person. That's a fact. Both the pastor and 𝐼𝐻𝐻 made commitments to me, not to me, to him. They promised to stick to our initial agreement as a family. But so one of them didn't keep the part of the agreement, and this happened. Wasting my long hours of calls with them, I feel like I wasted my precious coding time, because he's into coding as well. Yes, I personally mediated in the case in the past month. I held long hours of calls with both baby mama and baby daddy. We made huge progress and peace was restored at one point. Those of you that are saying that is not true, is a lie, at least those of you that are followers of the apostle, you know for a fact that he has a baby with this woman. You see, when the evidence is there, you can see. That's why I was wondering, him using Apostle Suleiman as a premise. So you members now that are followers of Apostle CHIBUZOR, you agree, you accept that, you know that he may not come out and say it publicly, but all of you know now. Congratulations. But today I feel like a failure. I feel like those long calls were wasted. Maybe I wasn't there to give attention to 𝐼𝐻𝐻. I don't have that much time myself, so that's why I don't try to get into these things. How I see it, how you people are posting like this one now, I'm trying to make sense out of it. Maybe I should have paid more attention to her emotional pain instead of hammering on motivation and mentorship every time we talked. Maybe when she gave signs of depression and deep emotional pain, I should have called the attention of the pastor to provide emotional support and closure, something I don't know how to provide. I don't like dabbling into the realm of emotions to protect my own mental health. That is true. Maybe I should have initiated more calls. But where do I borrow time from? Because he's also a busy man. Everybody, we don't have time. I mean, even this time I'm using to do this now, with just more time I have. I'm a busy person myself. Now we are preparing to go and fight in Niger. Don't you see I'm ready? So this is my first and last comment on this case. There is nothing too spoiled that can't be fixed. I want everyone to do what we agreed and move on. With Kingdom Love, 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻. So they had an agreement. So when she mentioned that person, I began to understand. But he then made another post again. This was not even the first and last time, because he made another post. This is where I have a problem with those who are followers of Apostle CHIBUZOR Chinyere. You see, at the level you are now, philanthropist, you have been given an award recently. Hallelujah. You see, the kind of people you surround yourself with, there should be people that can put you in the right direction. I see pastors and their scandals, and I see the way they get to handle it. They're smart. They know how to they know that the members know the truth, yeah? But they will not make it so obvious. Your media team should they should help you, and you can end this thing once and for all. Last, you just say just the way you said in the audio, whether you are doing it out of pure remorse or something. But right now, for those of you who are telling me go and take him to court, it's not my business. So I'm discussing what I see. But as we are talking right now, the case is in court, and he is appearing as well for the court case. It's happening already there in Nigeria. I don't know if you understand. So as time goes on, based on what I see, I'll give you people updates.
Elijah, send down fire, bless my altar.
The 2nd of July, he made this post because 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐵's life was being threatened. He said, "This was sent to me by 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐵." This picture you see right here. Even I don't know, those of you that are working in the media team or those of you, I don't know. Do you have? I don't know if that just, but from the video that I'm making or from the post that I'm making, look at what is written here: wanted blackmailer 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐵 Sunday. This case is ongoing and may lead to her death. This is just a warning. This case is ongoing, trying to blackmail so many people and yet claiming to be innocent. I think I've said this thing right here many times on this platform. When it comes to the subject of blackmail, you cannot. Recently, some Nigerians were arrested and then charged in the US for blackmail and extortion of some teenagers because the teenagers gave them some nudes, and they used those nudes and threatened those teenagers. Even one had to kill himself because they don't want that to be exposed, and then they were traced all the way to Nigeria and then picked. I think they have been charged or something. You see, there can't be a blackmail without there being a mail. Let me explain. You cannot blackmail someone without there being a fact. Just that you are trying to use a fact to extort money from them. I'm very much against blackmail. I won't see something that is looking blackmailish and then decide to support that or something. I don't know if you understand. So for you to call her a blackmailer, later next video I'm going to discuss a couple of things I have seen. For you to call her a blackmailer, did you even know the full story of what, at least from what she shared? Because if you say that she is blackmailing him, that means you know that there is a fact to what she's saying. And the whole idea of, oh, I see women commenting on this issue, and I just wonder, this one too, now woman, does this one have children? Because it's just quite alarming when I see the way women are talking about the situation. I get shocked about some comments. So this is what Charles himself said. He fears for her life. This is a warning. Nothing should happen to this poor girl. She is an orphan. Some of you don't know. I may not like the fact that this issue got to social media. I did my best and I am still doing my best because 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐵 is just a dot in the ocean. She is just a dot in the ocean. Think about that. Some of us are trying to calm the storm in the background, but some sheepish followers who are sending threats to the orphan are complicating issues. Here is wisdom. If you don't have all the information about the case, be careful how you fight or defend anyone, because he has all the information. I am only making this post because of the threat to life. If it wasn't for the numerous reports of threats, etc., I will personally ignore this and stay away from baby mama, baby daddy drama. So it's a fact. I believe at this point we all accept that truth. Anita and Davido are having theirs. Davido is not making threats. Anita will probably partner with the other baby mamas and seek legal means to get help. It's giving you the idea of what is happening here. But as for Davido, he has committed no crime. Sex or pregnancy is not a crime. That is a fact. As in legally. But making threats is a crime. Don't use crime to solve a simple case. Use diplomacy. Be kind. Feel free to defend anyone. I am also defending everyone myself. But don't make threats because of any man of God. You will put the man of God into more problems. Stop being foolish. 𝐻𝐭, be wise. Who is George in this case? George is just an observer like you, typing pages in the comment. God punish you. Why are you talking about this? Hey, talk about government. When I talk about government, where are you? I don't see you in the comment section of those videos. But you are here watching this one. Augusta, what are you doing here? But you see this one, all the very, very dicey. It is very dicey. Because at this point now, if she's being threatened, I just tried to check on her on Facebook and I couldn't find her page that was active before. Now the case is getting momentum again. How is it getting momentum? Forget the essence of these conversations I bring here is for you to be informed of what is happening in the church. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of you are complaining, why are you talking about only the bad? Because you only see the bad part. When I post about the good side, do you see it? You don't see it because you are not wired to see those ones. But they are here, go through the page. I share with you vital information that will help your life. You don't see that one. But because of your hypocrisy, you are coming here to comment. You will see them in the comments. Why every time you talk about, you don't talk about every time pastor? When you go on Super Sports, do you ask Super Sports for Nollywood?